Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be about Tati breaking her silence, coming back to YouTube and making a huge statement about everything that happened, about the bi-sister drama get into drama that happened last year in 2019 with Jeffree star James Charles, Tati Westbrook. And now I guess Shane Dawson. Didn't know that that was a thing until now. So that's great. I just want to preface this by saying that you have to know a lot about what happened. So if you don't know what happened, I honestly don't suggest that you watch this video, just because you need a lot of context, and it's just so much, just from last year, and it's been a buildup of tea. Even from when Dramageddon ended last year, it's just been buildup of this receipt suddenly comes out about what happened back then, and then this receipt, and then it's this situation that's happening right now is all kind of the culmination of everyone finally figuring out what exactly was that, like what exactly happened to where James Charles is now getting dragged for filth by not only the beauty community but his own friends who swore that they loved him and swore that they cared about him 3 months prior. And I'm going to be referencing a lot of things that I didn't talk about on my channel, just because it seemed like there was just a lot of like, this receipt came out this time and then this receipt came out that time, and I don't really like to do videos where it's just about one small thing, and so I didn't make videos about that or talk about that necessarily on my channel. I might have referenced them maybe on my channel if you watch some of the past videos that I have made about bigger parts of the situation, but I will be referencing those things. So if you don't know about it, I suggest that you maybe watch drama channel videos or maybe try to catch yourself up and then come back to this video. Or if you don't want to do that, and if you think that it's a waste of your time, then that's totally okay. But I just want you to be able to understand what I'm talking about and what I'm referencing in this video, because I will be referencing a lot of things. So before we do get into this video, please go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up, and go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and also turn on those post notifications so that you are notified of the next time that I post a video. All right, so without further ado, let's just get into this mess, this absolute mess. All right, so Tati Westbrook posted her video. If you have not seen the video, I suggest that you go watch it before you watch this one. I might accidentally leave some things out because she did talk about a lot of different situations, and I will try to cover everything, but it's just a lot. It was a 40-minute video and she said a lot, and I watched it yesterday, and I really don't want to have to watch it again, but yeah, so just watch that video probably before you watch this one, or if you have watched that one, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But Tati Westbrook came to YouTube for the first time in months, I think, and posted a video. And this is after a lot of things came out about Shane and Jeffree's involvement in the bi-sister video. A lot of people had already been speculating. A lot of people who weren't necessarily in the exact drama themselves, but were around Jeffree specifically, were saying that Shane and Jeffree planned this. They planned it. They planted the seeds in her head that Tati then went on to use to make her bi-sister video. And I was so shocked when I saw that she posted this, and the way that she posted it, and the fact that it was a 40-minute video, and the fact that she just went and she just did it. I was not sure that she was going to post a video. I thought that she would have posted it a while ago, honestly. I was kind of just shocked. I mean, I wasn't super shocked, but it was still like, whoa, okay, here it is. Here she goes. She's about to just spill it. And boy, did she spill it. So the first main thing that I was just so shocked by was the fact that she said, I'm going to be reading a statement that was approved by my lawyers. At that point, I said, oh no, this is a mess. And the thing that I will have to say, whenever somebody brings in attorneys and starts to bring in the law in drama like this, I have to be a little more, okay, I think that I can believe more of what they say. And here's why. You don't sue people over something that you lied about. You're not going to sue somebody unless you truly believe that you're in the right, especially people as powerful as Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star. She knows what she's going up against. She was friends with Jeffree for a long time. She was friends with Shane. She knows what she's going up against. And the fact that she decided to bring lawyers into this, and the fact that she even quoted the fact that she her statute of limitations has not run out, speaks volumes in my mind. And that alone made me think, okay, she's about to give me credible information. Now, will I say that maybe she could be lying in this video? Of course she could be lying. But that fact that she is so willing to bring lawyers into this, coupled with the fact that so many people have already corroborated what she said in this video before she even said it, lets me know everything that I need to know about the video. So, spoiler alert, I pretty much believe Tati. And I know that I believed her in the last Dramageddon, which I will get into the last Dramageddon because, I don't know, I have some observations that I don't think that people are pointing out. But I also do believe that she is manipulated, and I just believe that anyone who had any type of empathy, or anyone who, I don't know, just Tati seems like a credible source. And even with her saying I was manipulated into saying that, but I believed it, I believe her. One thing that also struck me about this video was how emotional that she was the entire video. And I think that goes to show that she has some sort of, maybe it was remorse as to why she was so emotional. Maybe it was just the fact that she knew that, like, this situation that she decided to put herself in this situation. She decided to make that video on her own. If she hadn't decided to do that, none of this would happen. But at the end of the day, I think it's coming from a place of regret. Like, I can't believe that I put myself in this situation. I can't believe that I hurt my friend. I can't believe that I did all of this. I can't believe that I let myself be manipulated. And she also opened herself up to the enormous amount of hate that I know that she has received ever since she posted that video. I mean, even though a lot of people were on her side, I know for a fact that she was, just riddled with disgusting comments about everything about her, and that she'll have to probably deal with that for the rest of her life. And so I think that the emotions that she showed came from a lot of different places, but it all boils down to the fact that she probably regrets the decision that she made last year. So Tati first really talked about how she and James are cool and have been cool since like December, which blew my mind, by the way. I was like, what? I was so confused. It was just so wild to me that she has been friends with, I don't know if they're friends necessarily, but has been on good terms with James since last year, and that she apologized, they made up, they compared receipts, which I thought was very interesting. Side note, I also think that it's extremely interesting how silent James has been, and I will be flabbergasted if he makes a video. I don't think that James will, because I don't think that he needs to. I think that everyone's cleared him in this situation, and so now it's really just between Tati, Shane, and Jeffree. But if he does make a video, and if he does end up pulling out receipts, I will be floored. But what's crazy about the fact that she's been cool with James since December is the fact that I feel like this situation is kind of late, if that makes sense. Because she kept like posting videos on YouTube as if nothing happened. And I feel like she should have at least come onto her platform and said that I'm cool with James now. And I mean, that would have been a mess, but at least it would have been over by now, I think. And that at least I think this information would have come out in December, if that makes any sense. But I do think that they maybe were waiting and being strategic about the right time, and that after what Shane and Jeffree have just been kind of saying about the situation, it kind of all just came to a head. Then Tati also said that Jeffree was just feeding her a lot of things about James before she even knew about the voice note or heard the voice note, and that Jeffree would just basically talk about James nonstop all the time, and that it was like consistently every single time that they saw each other or talked to each other, he would only talk about James. Which, Tati, to that I have to say, well, you're friends with him. She was like really close to James, so why did you let that happen? Because I know my friends know, at least for me, they know that if they don't like one of my friends, I'm not just gonna let them say anything about that person. I think that maybe Tati thought that she would have to make a decision about whose side she would be on because it was that bad of a situation. And so maybe that's why she was just kind of silent, because she was trying to figure out what she's supposed to do and how she's supposed to navigate these different relationships with these different people. But I know that personally for me, if I have a friend who doesn't like another friend, and I've had this happen before, I would not let one of my friends just continuously talk about the other one like that. I would have to say something, just to let them know that I'm not that person to go to with these grievances, because I am friends with this person. But maybe Tati, it was like Jeffree was picking away at her friendship with James. And so it was like each thing that he would say, Tati would internalize, and then it would make her friendship with James worse, if that makes any sense. She then also talks about the voice note and how when she heard this voice note, she then basically was up in arms, and then that was the catalyst. And that, well, she heard the voice note and then the gummy bear hair thing, and then it was just like, okay, I'm gonna make this video. And I think that because she heard this voice note, she started to take things that James was doing and then make them into something that maybe they weren't, like the waiter in Seattle. Things like that. She was starting to just be on edge and like maybe looking back at situations with James and thinking, okay, maybe that was more than what I thought it was, based on the fact that James did this to this person. She thought in her head that he did this. I'm saying allegedly because I really do not know, and I do not want to get sued. And I haven't heard the voice note anyway, so I don't even know what he even allegedly did to this person. But what I find interesting about that is the fact that it seems like everybody that has been coming out recently is like, yeah, I heard this voice note, and I feel like, and everyone's just saying that this voice note exists and that they don't know if it's real because they don't know now that they can't trust Jeffree. But at one point they felt like they did. The only thing that I have to say to that is the voice note situation seems so strange to me, because why in the world would, out of everybody, would this person tell Jeffree? And why is Jeffree the only person who knows, or the only person who has any evidence to corroborate the fact that James Charles did this? Now, maybe Jeffree isn't the only person, but he is the only person that doesn't respect people when they say, I don't want people to know. Maybe there are other people who know about the situation, but this person also said to them, I don't want to come forward with this, and so they're keeping their mouths shut. And that is respectable, and I understand that. But it just seems so strange to me that Jeffree Star is really the only person who can even say that they got this firsthand. So like everyone who's hearing the voice note can't really say that it's false. I don't know. It just sounds, it's just a little sketchy. I'm not saying that it's not real, obviously. But I am saying that it is very sketchy. Now, what surprised me was when she apologized to Jackie Aina. Now, I do know that Tati privately apologized to Jackie Aina because Jackie talked about it in a video and reviewed Tati's palette because Tati sent it to her in PR, and I guess they had a conversation and squashed everything. But Jackie didn't go into detail as to what exactly they squashed. But of course, I knew, even when I watched Jackie's video, which was months ago, I knew that it had something to do with Jeffree Star and Tati's relationship with Jeffree Star. And I also knew from that point that Tati and Jeffree Star were no longer friends. And I think that that was the confirmation, because people were speculating that as well. But the confirmation to that was the fact that Tati privately apologized to Jackie Aina. Now, what I did not appreciate was that Tati did not go into the fact that Jeffree does have a past of being racist. At least say that he had a past, because a lot of people don't want to own up to the fact that they were friends with racists. And of course, I don't believe that Tati, well, I mean, I don't know. I hope that Tati would not actively know that Jeffree Star was in fact a racist, did not hear those types of things come out of his mouth and say, yep, I'm still going to be friends with him. I really hope that that's not what happened. But then again, that is just a hope. But I wish that Tati would have at least addressed the fact that she should have heard Jackie's concerns as far as his racism, because she didn't really go into detail about that. I also wish that Tati would have said something about what Jeffree said about Jackie and really call him out for what he did say about Jackie. But that's not really part of the drama, but it was interesting that Tati did address Jackie Aina in this video. Tati then also talked about how Shane was a part of this drama. Now, Shane being a part of this drama was just, I think, kind of almost to me out of left field, because even though I had issues with Shane Dawson prior to everything that has come out about him, which I made a video about if you want to go watch that, even though I had an issue with Shane Dawson because I felt like he was friends with people who were consistently racist, and especially with Jeffree Star, and at that point I was just done with him. And also just a lot of other things. I think the Eugenia Cooney video, I made a video about Shane Dawson's video with Eugenia Cooney. If you want to go also watch that, because I definitely called Shane out for that one as well. But I did not think that Shane Dawson had anything to do with the bi-sister drama at all. I did not think that Shane Dawson was involved. Would I have thought that he knew something about it? Yes, he's friends with Jeffree, but I thought that Shane was just an observer, just on the outside, did not have anything to do with it. The fact that he, which I believe is true, I believe Tati in this one specifically, the fact that Shane was trying to also ruin James Charles is absolutely wild to me. Now, Tati said that Jeffree and Shane were both jealous of James. Why was Jeffree jealous of James? It's obvious. That's the thing. The fact that Jeffree was involved is so obvious because of the fact that James passed him up in subscribers. It only just makes sense. So I had no issue believing that, internalizing that, okay, yeah, Jeffree Star definitely has something to do with it. But Tati then also said, she said that Shane was jealous of James because James was going to make a documentary. And that's where I was like, oh, so Shane has an issue with James because he was going to also be in his world. And so I think it's very interesting, and I don't know if anyone's ever really talked about this point, but the fact that Shane Dawson then suddenly wanted to be in the beauty world. That was interesting to me. It seemed like Shane Dawson wanted to fill a void and also was kind of making an alliance. It's so weird to say this, but making an alliance with Jeffree Star where they could both rule the documentary world and the makeup world. And James Charles was the only person who was going to straddle both. And they didn't like that, because it all boils down to money. It all boils down to money at the end of the day, and greediness. They both wanted to be at the top of their fields, and they saw James coming, and so they had to break him down. You know, Shane apparently supposedly told Tati, I'll help you edit the video. I'll make the thumbnail for the video. I mean, that to me, why would Tati, you see, the thing about this whole situation is the fact that Tati brought lawyers into this. If she didn't bring lawyers into this, I would have to take everything that she said with a much bigger grain of salt, because if you're going, you knew that you were going to make a statement that is a clear, is this a fact or is this not? And things that she said could possibly be defamatory, the way that she is claiming that they were defamatory. They made defamatory claims against her. The thing that I think is interesting is that the lawyers let her say that Shane told her that he would do these things. Like, she's basically just making these claims against Shane that he not only knew about it, but that he was in on it and actively wanted her to do it. I think that that was extremely interesting. Another point that I thought made Shane just look like a horrid person, and that I also believe that he said, just going off of everything that he's done, this is the type of person that Shane Dawson is. When Tati was like, I just hope, you know, he's in another country in a hotel on like a really high floor. I don't want him, basically she didn't want James to hurt himself. And Shane was like, he would never do that to himself. He's such a narcissist. I believe that Shane would say something like that. And why would Tati's lawyers let her make a claim like that if it wasn't true, if she didn't have evidence? Because apparently they texted this. So, I mean, all of this is pointing to the fact that Tati brought lawyers and brought the law into this and said, I can file a lawsuit and they have all of my evidence, and that's why they're even letting me say this, proves to me that she's telling the truth. And that also proves that Shane Dawson is a despicable person, but we already knew that. So Shane Dawson is having such a rough week. Like, this must be the worst, but whatever, he deserves it. I'm sorry, but I don't have any sympathy for someone who says those types of things about children. And you know what's crazy? In my last video, this is such a tangent, but in my last video, when I was talking about Shane and I was talking about his racism, I was like, oh, well, I think that he was being sincere in his apology and I won't hold it over his head. But then I saw what he said about Trayvon Martin, which I had not seen before. And at that point, I was done. I'm sorry, but I was completely and utterly done. I did not see it's just like things kept coming out. And so I was basing my opinion off of the things that I had seen that he apologized for. But the things that I hadn't seen that he didn't apologize for, I am absolutely 100% disgusted. I think that Shane Dawson is a racist. I take back what I said. I think that Shane Dawson is a racist. I think that Jeffree Star obviously is a racist. I think that Shane Dawson likes little kids, has something like that in him. I think that Jeffree Star is just the scum of the earth. And I think that them two together, that's just how I feel. I'm sorry that that's such a tangent, but just based off of what Tati said and me talking about, you know, Shane basically just saying disgusting things about James Charles, that he's such a narcissist, that he wouldn't hurt himself. I just had to make that point clear, because I felt like I can't just get on my platform and not acknowledge the fact that Shane Dawson is a racist, and that Shane Dawson is an overall disgusting, despicable, deplorable human being. Overall, I think that Tati was telling the truth. There's no reason for her to lie if she has lawyers involved. There's no reason for that. I'm just very worried because Tati also said that Jeffree Star has a lot of tea on a lot of people and that he will spill it. And I do believe that is true. And I am very worried about how the beauty community is going to stand after this. This is horrible. This situation is very bad, and it's only going to get worse, because I think that a lot of beauty YouTubers are then going to be scared to speak out against Jeffree Star because they know that he has something on them. A lot of people in the beauty community won't say anything, and they'll just let it be Jeffree's point of view versus Tati's point of view, Jeffree's word against Tati's word, Shane's word against Tati's word, and that's not going to be the best situation. People do need to speak up against them regardless of what Jeffree Star has on them. That's just how I feel, because that's how Jeffree silences people. That's why people were so silent about Jeffree Star for so long. Again, overall, I do believe that Tati was telling the truth. I do believe that it's going to be hard for her to come back from this. And I do believe that James Charles either should say something or should join Tati in the lawsuit. But, and I said that I would talk about this, I don't believe that James Charles was innocent. And I do believe that there is truth to James Charles preying on straight men in some type of way. Maybe not in the way that they believed. But when I saw that James Charles had his gender set to female on Tinder, and that straight men were seeing James Charles pop up on their Tinder, that let me know that James Charles does have something like that in him. That's just, because that is like undeniable proof. And so I'm not saying that James Charles is as far as what Jeffree Star called him, but I do believe that there is some truth to some of these claims, and Jeffree Star is just taking it to the next level, and that Tati was also taking it to the next level because she already had this idea planted in her head. So she started making every scenario between James and a straight guy into something more than what it was. That's just how I feel. That's how I've always felt. Ever since Dramageddon ended last year, I always felt like James Charles is not innocent. But he's the person who is ultimately the victim in this situation, unless that voice note is real. But there's a lot of just conditionals in this situation. But what is not a conditional is the fact that Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star are disgusting, despicable, absolutely scum. They should not have a platform. And yeah, they just should not have a platform whatsoever. Anyways, let me just cleanse y'all with some Tom Holland. Please enjoy this obligatory Tom Holland picture as I close out. But yeah, this situation is long from over. And I am going to cover it periodically when I think that there's enough to make a video about, I guess, when the bigger things in the situation happen. But it is very exhausting to see, oh shoot, this person made a video, now I gotta stop what I'm doing, and but at the same time, I do think that the situation is important for the beauty community, which is a community that I am part of and that I love very, very, very dearly, and that I don't want to see crumble to pieces because, well, I mean, honestly, I kind of think that the beauty community kind of deserves it because they put Jeffree Star on such a pedestal. The fact that you put Jeffree Star on such a pedestal and then you think that everything is going to be fine and dandy in this community is idiotic. So yeah, I just hope that people see the light about him and decide finally maybe to come to their senses and unsubscribe. Unless they're racist, but we never know. Anyways, that is it for this video. If you did enjoy this video, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. Go ahead and comment down below what you think of this entire situation, what you think of Tati's video. Do you think that she's lying? Do you think that she's not lying? Who do you believe in the situation? And what do you think of her apologies and what she said? And also, please do subscribe to my channel and turn on those post notifications so that you are notified of the next time that I post a video. So yeah, thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!